Super Mechagodzilla, the sequel.
To a movie that is not canon to this timeline.
Yeah, it's Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2.
What Mechagodzilla 1 was, we'll never know.
Yeah.
It's not either of the trash cans. Actually, wait. How is the Mechagodzilla from Terror of Mechagodzilla not Mechagodzilla 2?
Because it's called Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, but why is it not still Mechagodzilla 2? Because it was clearly an upgrade.
I mean, it is Mechagodzilla 2. The movie's just not called that.
Okay, yes. So why is this one Mechagodzilla 2?
Because this is the second time he's fought Mechagodzilla.
No, it's not.
Look, you want me to make a time machine, go back to Japan in, like, 93 and be like, hey,
yeah,
explain this shit to me.
Slap some fucking producers across the face and go, this shit's stupid. And then tell them to make sure that the second generation of Pokemon's more important and they won't understand what the fuck we're talking about. But they're responsible for it because they made Ultraman.
So...
I just want to... I just love to bitch slap someone. Just
we got in the copyright sections both Mechagodzilla and Super Mechagodzilla. As if they're two different characters. Like you.
Okay, so there is going to be a Mechagodzilla, and then I assume that Mechagodzilla will either be upgraded or destroyed, and there will be a Mechagodzilla 2.
I'm just a really big fan of the fact that, like, they go, well, you know, if you put Super in front of something, it's no longer copyrighted.
Well, like, but it's their own fucking thing. They made Mechagodzilla.
I mean, I know they did, but it's just funny that I could go like, yo, I'm gonna go put Super in front of I don't know the PlayStation 5.
You can't do
Super
that.
PlayStation 5, credit it to me.
You cannot do that unless you like uncapitalize it.
Anyway, we've got both Rodan and Fire Rodan. They were both copyrighted in this one as well.
I thought we weren't seeing Rodan.
I was wrong.
Great. Awesome. I'm so excited to see
But this time
Rodan.
he's going to be on fire.
Cool.
Maybe.
Just like in King of the Monsters.
This happened before, though.
Yeah.
This is like 30 years ago.
Yeah. King of the Monsters will be a better movie, but...
It's got sci-fi, monster violence, and some language.
Nice. I think we had, like, our first swear word in the last movie, so...
Yeah, the rest of these are all just PG.
What, this one's PG-13?
No, this one's PG as well, but they just... Well, some of them aren't even rated.
Oh. Well, that's fun.
Probably because they didn't come out here.
They could have porn in them. We never know.
Oh, but there is one that is PG-13 for intense sequences of violence.
And that would be... Destroya?
No, this is the volume 2, so it's all the Millennium, except for Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2.
Oh, alright. So I'm assuming the PG-13 one is Final Wars?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Okay.
Alright, let's do this shit. Well, welcome back to our review of Beam, the movie.
You could say it was really beaming.
It was just nothing but beams. Everything had a beam. Mechagodzilla had at least like 3 different kinds of beams. Godzilla got a special beam. Rodan got a beam.
The only one who didn't get a beam was Baby Godzilla.
Indeed. But don't worry. I'm sure it'll get one eventually.
I mean, probably. It probably won't just get kidnapped in the next movie and held hostage.
Cool. What's the next movie?
Space Godzilla.
God damn it. Wait, we only have like 2 more left in...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Space Godzilla and...
Destroya. Because I know Space Godzilla immediately leads into Destroya.
Yeah.
So... Yeah. So... Now, where once we had the KFC bucket machine, we now have Mechagodzilla 2, powered by Skittles. Taste the rainbow.
It was actually the 3rd Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, well, no one cares.
I mean, you're not wrong. Nobody cares about either of the trash cans.
Yeah.
Or this really smooth toy.
Yes, it is very much like weird techno medieval armor and like a narrow face.
It's got a big neck.
That it does, and it almost turns its head 180 degrees.
So, this movie starts with them developing super weapons to fight Godzilla because they found the head of Mecha King Ghidorah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they look at this souped up jet and they're like, that's dumb. Make it Godzilla style instead. So they make a Mechagodzilla.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, guy who's working on the super plane. Fuck you. You now work on the Mechagodzilla.
I don't think he's supposed to be working on the Garuda, so... yeah, so we then cut to fucking about 5 minutes of training montage for him being a part of G-Force.
He learned judo. Or he
Not
got judoed.
really. I was gonna say, he got his ass kicked. Like, he didn't learn a damn thing.
He got judoed and the lady flipped a few times and everybody was like, man, that guy sucks.
Yep.
Let's put him in the Mechagodzilla.
Yep. What a promising...
So, some team finds pterodactyl fossils and they're like, that's really weird. And then they're like, you want to see something weirder? Here's an egg.
One of them hatched. And so...
The one that hatched was Rodan.
Yes, and Rodan appears as they're like, let's take this other egg.
We'll take it and make an omelet.
Totally. And Rodan's like, bitch, give me back my brother. And then Godzilla shows up and goes,
I hate flying things.
everything that flies is my enemy. You must die. You know, you basically just comes in and pulls a Dark Nut from fucking one of the CDI Zelda games. Pretty sure that's not his name, but...
No, that's Dark Nut.
That is Dark Nut.
I'm pretty sure that's a Dark Nut. Yeah, there's an Iron Knuckle. But it doesn't matter, because we're not talking about Zelda.
I know, but the you must die is very appropriate.
Yeah.
But...
So they steal the egg because Rodan gets his shit kicked in.
Yep. And Godzilla, for some reason, decides not to destroy the helicopter. I guess he doesn't quite understand...
Well, it's because there's an egg on there, and he wants the egg. He
Yeah.
wants an omelet.
No, it's the egg. It's the egg advantage. The humans have the egg advantage. Therefore, Godzilla cannot attack.
So, it's up on the news, and the guy who's building the Garuda is like, yo, is that a pterodactyl egg? I love me some pterodactyls.
And then so he breaks. Oh god! And yes, this man actually has pterodactyls in his car. He has one suction cup to his windshield, and like a charm of a pterodactyl hanging from his rearview mirror. This man is a dork. But admittedly, it kind of facilitates the plot, so I guess I understand it. And he comes in and he starts taking pictures. It's like, how did you get in here? This is a secure facility. And I'm
Don't
like,
worry about it.
like, it's not secure.
Yeah, just don't worry about it at all.
You know what's even funnier is that you were like, he has some pterodactyl wings. And that kind of happened.
I know.
But anyway, yeah, so...
He steals some of the plants, the dank kush that was on the egg.
Yes, that was clearly there to make sure that this egg was, I don't know, calm, sedated.
And then he takes the plant to the psychics.
Yes.
And they're like, yo.
There's a kid sitting in a pyramid of power. It's fucking great.
They're like, yo, this song that this plant is playing is so hot. It is lit. It is fire. Put it on a mixtape.
Yep, and they play it on a tape, and from who knows how far away, it wakes up the egg. And I'm sitting there staring at what's coming out of the egg, becoming more and more concerned as I see there is a long tail, which Rodan does not have, and a significant lack of wings. And I was like, oh no, as I watch as a long neck with back spines pops out of the egg, and I go, oh dear God, it's Manila. But hopefully a better Manila, I prayed, as we continue to see it from the back, which is already much more promising than Manila ever was.
Yeah.
And then everyone comes in, because I guess they were in a neighboring area.
Yeah, they were in the other side of the building playing the song.
Yeah. And then they're like, it's a Godzillasaur. And then we look at its face, and yeah, it's just a younger Godzilla. It looks fine. I honestly have no real complaints other than its feet being a little too big.
Yeah. Also, we missed the scene where Mechagodzilla goes out, fights Godzilla.
It fucking harpoons him and shocks him, but then Godzilla's like, unlimited power, and like feeds it back into Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, he literally just goes, no you,
mm-hmm.
and then overloads it.
Yep. Because the thing that happened is that the better Godzuki hatched, and Godzilla was like, my son, my child is out there. I'm coming to collect my child. And so goes on a rampage, and that's why Mechagodzilla even got involved. And then Mechagodzilla got wrecked, so Godzilla is just rampaging through Kyoto, and blows up the Kyoto Tower because nothing can be taller than him.
No, absolutely not.
No, can't
not
have
even
it.
Mechagodzilla.
Can't have it. Anything that's taller than him must blow up. That includes anything that can fly, as it is automatically above him. So, yeah. And
our main guy gets demoted at this point.
Well, we're not. Well, the problem is that we have to do. They seal the baby in because they're like, the baby's crying out for Godzilla. That's a problem. Close it in a room. Maybe that'll stop Godzilla. And then Godzilla is like, I know he's here, and starts like taking off parts of the building, but he doesn't finish it, and then he finally just fucking leaves. And that's when what's his face got demoted, because they were like, you were supposed to be a Mechagodzilla, you jackass.
Yeah, why were you not a Mechagodzilla?
It's like, I took a vacation. And he's like...
Oh, well, next time tell me.
Yeah.
You work the parking lot now.
Yeah, you were captain of the parking lot. Have fun. So, Mechagodzilla got fried. And so they have to repair it.
And then they take baby Godzilla to a facility.
Yeah, they take him to like a sanctuary, which I assume is also sealed so that he doesn't call Godzilla again. And they're researching him, and they're like, oh wow, it has a butt brain.
Ass brain.
And they're like, Godzilla probably has one too. Maybe if we attack the butt brain, we can take out Godzilla. And yeah, so they're like, all right. And then they're like, then we have to attract Godzilla somehow to this island. And they're like, okay, we'll use the baby Godzilla. And then certain people start to freak out. Because apparently getting to know Baby has made people sympathetic towards Godzilla, which I'm like, he's a vegetarian Godzillasaur. There's a big difference between this little bastard and the 100-meter tall radioactive lizard of destruction.
Maybe we can throw some celery at Godzilla. He'll go away.
Yeah, sure.
His thighs could use it.
I mean, probably. He needs to lose some weight for sure.
So, while this is all going down, the parking lot manager basically holds one of the top scientists hostage.
Because he's been working on the Garuda, and he's like, I can dock them. And I'm sure there was a conversation. It's like, this isn't just one of your sick fetishes, right? And he's like, no. It goes on, and it uses the cannons, and it's a cacophony of light and sound and piss lasers and Skittles lasers. It's just a good time for everyone except for Godzilla. And they're like, all right,
okay, fine, whatever. Work on the Garuda. Who cares?
We'll
just let me off this turntable.
We'll make it work. You're holding me hostage, but we'll just let that slide. And so he meets the one girl who's basically Godzilla, or yeah, Baby's mom at this point, and he's like, "Yo, check out my robot. It's a pterodactyl." It's not a robot. It's just a flying thing.
It's a pterodactyl bike.
Yep, that flies. It's dumb. It crashes. Also, baby eats a shoe. It's surprisingly funny.
Yeah.
Somehow the scenes with baby were actually funny, whereas everything with with Manila was terrible.
You mean great?
No, absolutely awful. Everything with Manila was bad. Baby is.
What about the parts
fine.
where Manila ate an orange?
No, that was still dumb.
Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. So they put baby and lady in a storage container.
Wait. We have to set something up first.
Oh no.
They sing a song for baby. The same song that woke him up, which eventually attracted Godzilla, and I'm like, why are you doing this? You people are morons.
It also wakes up Rodan,
who's thousands of miles away, and turns him into Fire Rodan.
Yeah.
Who gets his own beam, and goes like, I'm here to
save baby bro.
I'm here to save my stepbrother. And so they're like, all right, we have to transport the baby
in a shipping container under a helicopter.
Oh god, what did they call it?
Lizard 1. Lizard 1 explodes.
Just utterly explodes because Fire Rodan just exudes an aura of explosions. He is explosions manifested, which was also shown in his first fight where he dropped invisible bombs.
I mean, that's how you do.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, so
Rodan catches the shipping container and is like, baby bro, where you want to land at? You want to go to the baseball game with your big bro?
Yeah, totally. But they don't go there. Instead, it just drops in the middle of some random field and starts to try and peck it open gently.
Well, yeah, baby bro's in there.
I guess. But, yeah, so that's why they're like, alright, send in Mechagodzilla.
And the Garuda.
Yes.
Johnson, raise altitude to 100.
Johnson? No.
Johnson, come in!
No, sir, I'm the main character. I beat up and knocked out Johnson and stole his helmet.
The Garuda is my baby.
Indeed. Which, to be fair, he was the one who was working on it the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
So, which actually does play into, like, stuff. But, yeah, they're like, quick, distract Radon.
It is Radon.
They keep calling him Radon. It's awful.
We're gonna use the piss cannon. You need to move Radon.
Yeah, because otherwise we might hit the container. That would just be bad for everyone. So, he tries to distract them, and then he gets body slammed by Rodan and crashes into a building.
Yeah, taking him out of the fight for most of it.
Yep. But since he worked on it, he knows how to fix it. So he goes about fixing it.
He's got this nice big light bright in the background.
It displays the chapter of the movie.
And it is battle.
It is currently battle. His battle with Rodan is just battle. It will come into play later. And so, he gets taken out by Rodan, and then regular Mechagodzilla. It's not even called Mechagodzilla 2 because there was no previous Mechagodzilla in this timeline. But Mechagodzilla starts just beaming the shit out of Rodan. It's a joke.
Yeah, Rodan can't fight Mechagodzilla.
Even though he has beams, the artificial diamond armor just no, doesn't deal with it.
Well, he's got heat beams similar to Godzilla's.
Clearly, even though it's purple.
And they already showed that Mechagodzilla could tank Godzilla's heat beams.
Yeah, I wish they'd stop renaming it. It's really dumb.
Too bad. At least it's not fire. At least it's not just straight fire.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. But heat beam might as well be fire.
So, Radon goes down because he is Radon.
Yes, and he is bleeding green blood all over the place. He is down for the count. As far as we know, he's dead. So, and they're like, we won. And some people come down and they're like, we're going to get you out of this container. And then the most predictable thing ever happens. And
a clown on a unicycle with angel wings descends from the sky.
AKA Godzilla has coming for his baby.
From the water.
Yes. He's on the approach, and it's like, oh boy, it's time for Mechagodzilla to go for round 2 with the Thunder Lizard.
Yeah, and so Mechagodzilla at this point has had one of its eyes pecked out.
Yes.
And it can't use its piss laser anymore because
it's overheated or something. They're waiting for it to cool down and generate more piss plasma. I don't know. But they're still trying to get in contact with Aoki, who is still trying to fix the Garuda. And I think at this point he has finally fixed it. And he turns on the radio and they're like, Godzilla's here. Where are you? And he's like, Godzilla. And then he starts it up and he's like, all right, it's time. And the light bright display tells us it is formation as he shoots at Godzilla. And we're like, okay. And I believe at this point Mechagodzilla had been knocked down by Godzilla.
Maybe, I don't know. All I know is sooner or later they fuse together and become Super Mechagodzilla.
Yes, Super Mechagodzilla makes
his eye is now repaired.
For no reason. Mainly so that the light show can begin. So Super Mechagodzilla goes into hover mode and just begins to fire every color of the rainbow at Godzilla, and it's just a beam, but it's just Dragon Ball Super. It's just beams. And you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? This is lame.
It's basically like the original Mechagodzilla fight, except instead of, guns, it was beams.
Yeah, just nothing but beams. Nothing but marketing beams. And Godzilla's having real problems. And they're like, Psychic Lady, find the butt brain.
Grab his ass brain and blow it up.
And so she uses her psychic goggles.
Her splinter cell goggles.
Yeah, it's very weird. Locates the ass brain, and then they fire the tow cables at it, or the electric cables that they used last time, and then Godzilla's like, the fuck? And he does like a 360, gets it wrapped all around him, and tries like pulling on it, but like pulling on Mechagodzilla? It's very weird. And then they initiate shocking him, and the ass brain explodes.
And Godzilla just goes down.
Oh, yeah. It's just...
all his bowels are loosened.
It's very awkward.
Hedorah shows up.
It's not a good time. So Godzilla is just down, and so they once again commence with the tranquilizer missiles and every beam imaginable just laying into him. It's not even fair. And then Baby is like, oh no, Dad's dying. Rodan? And then Rodan wakes up and goes, it's time for our docking. I watch as Rodan shows up and lands on top of Godzilla, and I start to lose my mind because we had previously made a joke about them docking together to make up for the fact that Super Mechagodzilla had docking. And Rodan proceeds to just turn into dust.
Yeah, he pulls a Biollante.
But it's like gray dust, and it's gross.
Yeah, and he just disappears.
He gives Godzilla heat powers.
And then Godzilla gets his red spiral.
Well, first he unleashes his aura, which melts the artificial diamond plating.
Right.
So Mechagodzilla is basically screwed at this point.
We didn't say when they knocked Godzilla down.
Mm-hmm.
Pterodactyl guy is like, well, I'm leaving, goodbye.
Yes.
And he just cruises on out
on his goddamn pterodactyl bike because he has to go save his girlfriend.
And he's got to go check out Baby.
Yes. So that happens, and yeah, It doesn't really explain a whole lot other than he's not in Super Mechagodzilla, which is important. Because Super Mechagodzilla is about to get bodied.
Oh, big time.
There was a previous beam clash. I think
the first one knocked Godzilla over. The second one
just like it overheats Super Mechagodzilla, and it just kind of just eats shit. Just falls backwards.
He uses his tail as a kickstand.
Yeah. And then Godzilla just starts beaming it with his new spiral red beam, his heat beam.
And he's like, "How do you like it,
bitch?" And they eject because it's over. And so Godzilla won. They get Baby out. Well, Baby breaks out because he's grumpy or something.
He just wants to leave.
I think he broke out because Godzilla was in pain or something.
Probably.
I don't know. But, yeah, so they're out and they're doing nothing. And everyone who ejected, they're like, well, we lost. And Godzilla's like, my work is done here.
And then they're like, yo, Psychic Lady, tell Godzilla he needs to take Baby.
And then
Baby doesn't belong here. And
then she proceeds to communicate with Baby.
And then they walk off into the sunset together.
Yes. And it's clear that Baby is already getting larger, just being in proximity to Godzilla's radiation.
And the age of dinosaurs will soon be upon us.
Soon. But
maybe a few million years. But they'll be waiting.
Yes, clearly. So, yeah, and then, yeah, that's the, more or less the end of the movie. It, I don't know. It
happened.
It was fine. It's just become very clear that the Heisei era has basically become about beams.
Well, yeah, those look cool.
The only time we didn't have beams was when Godzilla fought Biollante, and that was because it had giant vines, but even then, Biollante made use of his own, or her own projectile, vomit, semen. It burned, that's all that matters. But grapples were used, and there was a throw.
Yeah.
A throw did take place. It looked awful.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the same throw that was in the last two movies.
It wasn't the slam, it was just to pick up and, like...
I'll rotate you 90 degrees,
and then
I will throw you.
And then throw him, and just, like, rigidly just crashes into the set, and it's just like, this is not even good looking. Because it's clear they didn't actually let it... They didn't actually let it fall. They just, like, moved it into debris and then, like, gently set it down. And I'm like, it just sucks when you have to be so careful with the suit. Even though you are eventually going to destroy it. It's like they filmed it... Because, like, there's a big thing about, like, most movies are filmed out of order.
Mm-hmm.
So that you don't have to deal with this crap or, like, you have to protect the suit because you have to blow it up eventually. What you do is you film all the parts with the suit intact at the same time, and then you fuck the suit up for the scenes that it needs to be fucked up in. But clearly they just didn't do that. I mean, I'm not saying I know what their production was like, but it just feels like that. Because they're so careful in the Heisei era with, like, not ruining the suits.
Well, they don't want the person inside the suit to die.
But they wouldn't throw the suit if there was a person in the suit. They wouldn't lift it with wires if there was a person in the suit. That's an extra freaking 180 pounds.
No, they'd totally do it. They would totally do it.
That's really dumb. That's really dumb.
Anyway, speaking of dumb, you want to talk about the plot? Like, give that a number?
Yeah, I guess we'll get this over with. So, monster combat. Yeah.
It was there. It was beamy.
Yeah. I would personally put it on the level of versus Ghidorah. It was...
That's fine.
It was serviceable. That was a 5. I feel that's fine. The visual effects...
Battle!
I don't know if that counts, but, I mean... I don't know. It was a lot of terrible CG, but that was used in places where it was literally a computer simulation. So
Yeah.
that was
I mean,
acceptable.
all the shots of Godzilla stomping through town looked good.
They were fine. And the superimposed shots weren't jarring. You could tell they were superimposed, and some of them looked hilariously bad. Like when Rodan was flying through some scenes.
Yeah.
But nothing too terrible. I don't know. Everything's had an 8 except for 84, which, I mean, I'm getting used to the Heisei era's quality of visual effects.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it doesn't feel as impressive anymore.
Yeah. But if the average is 8, then...
Well, I mean... I guess. I'll throw an 8.
I mean, it's looked about as visually appealing as all the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing I would say that helps the visual effects is Baby being a infinitely better design than Manila.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It was just miles better. The plot, not gonna lie, you could follow it. It had setup. Like, the pterodactyl thing played into how Aoki gets involved in the main plot, and him getting moved to G-Force was also important to the main plot because it's why he was even technically allowed to be part of the combat. And everything just kind of had a general progression that made sense. It was relatively simple, but you could follow it.
I mean, then they had the part where Godzilla's eyes glow red. For that one scene.
Yes, they set up the fact that the glowing red is being afraid, and Godzilla can feel fear.
Yeah.
But his eyes never glowed red when his ass brain got exploded. So I don't know what that's about.
I mean, he probably lost all his senses of anything once his ass brain blew up.
Yeah, it's very awkward. But, yeah, so... I don't know.
What did we give Mothra?
5.
Okay, this was better than that.
Yeah, let's see. 5. Yeah, Biollante got an 8 'cause that was fucking great. I don't know. Like,
I don't feel like it was as good as Biollante, so maybe a 7.
Yeah, that's fine. The acting. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I think the dub took away from it. There was some bad voice acting on the dub.
I mean, you didn't like everybody calling him Raiden? Radon?
Radon. After the gas, Radon. It was... But, like, everyone was decent.
Yeah.
Like, I literally have no complaints about the acting at all.
Yeah, I can't think of any standout characters, good or bad, so...
I would put it at a 7 because it was better than... I would personally say it was better than anything else in Heisei.
Alright, that's good, that's fine.
Alright. This is going to be a relatively high one, unless... the dub was...
They said baby so many times.
It was bordering on other M levels. I was getting very worried that we were just going to start talking about the baby all the time. And they did talk about it a lot.
At least they didn't talk about the bottle ship.
Yeah.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah, the fucking... But I would argue that there were other terms that were thrown around too much. And there was a lot of jargon that wasn't jargon.
Ground air.
Ground air.
Ground air removed.
It was so fucking dumb.
I mean, I didn't think it was that bad.
Well...
I wasn't analyzing it, though. I just turned my brain off and said, yep, those are words happening on the screen.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at 0. Alright, so what the fuck gets the special mention? Because we didn't attach to Skittles until the very end, at which it became apparent that it was just like every color was just gonna get used. It was just rough.
I mean, my personal favorite scene was when they're at the hospital and the floors are just greased. And I made the joke that they had just rolled Baby around to get the grease off of him.
Yeah, he came out a little slimy, and then in the next scene he was clean. So we assume that they took the baby grease and used it to wax the floors. As everyone's trying to run out of the building, and everyone's slipping and falling, and things are sliding like dozens of feet across the floor. It was, and people were just like not quite getting a grip. It makes me think that they purposely greased the floors to have people like slip, but didn't think about the fact that everything else would also move.
But other than that, I can't really think of any. Well, I mean,
there was Baby.
Yeah, Baby with the shoes.
Yeah, Baby eating the shoes was a good time. Just playing around in the hay and eating random plants. It's like, no, Baby, that's the marijuana. Honestly, I'm willing to give it to Baby.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we certainly like Baby more than we like Manila.
Baby was actually funny.
Yeah.
In ways that were charming, as opposed to forced.
Yeah, let's give it to Baby.
Alright. I don't think it's worth that much.
Yeah, probably a point or two.
I'll just give it 1 point. I don't think it was that special. He didn't really have a lot of scenes. He or she, whatever it is. So total is 28.
Huh. That's in the ballpark of where everything else has been.
Yeah, that puts it up with versus King Ghidorah. Not up with Biollante. Biollante was at a 30, because of course it was. God, Biollante got shafted by its monster combat and the acting. I didn't know how bad the monster combat was honestly going to get.
I mean, yeah, the whole Heisei's been kind of shafted by monster combat.
It's because yeah, no, it's been rough. But yeah, so all right, it's decent. I'm hoping things will continue to improve, but I've heard, unfortunately, that Space Godzilla is psychic, so I'm scared.
Yeah, tune in next week when Godzilla fights Godzilla again.
Yeah.
For like the...
You mean Biollante?
No, this is still Godzilla.
No, but Godzilla's fighting Biollante.
From space!
From a black hole.
A white hole!
Who's also part Godzilla.
Yeah, this is only the third mirror match.
It's fucking dumb.
Alright, see you guys later.
See you.